right, let's get started with the opening talk.
Yeah.
Uh, Once
Uh,
again, oh,
okay. Okay. Now start.
okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So,
Okay. Now
oh,
start.
okay, all right. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. And a huge thank you to all of our speakers. We really appreciate you. We have a wonderful lineup speakers who will be sharing their unique stories and perspectives. What kind of topics will they share with us today? I'm really looking forward to finding out. So I hope that even a small part of today's session can serve as a hint or inspiration for someone here. And since this is such a special global connection, feel free to drop your social media in the chat and say hi to each other. Okay. Next. Hi. This community is run by Yuki and myself. If you are interested in helping out with the organizing side, feel free to let me know. I'd love to grow this together with you. This community is, oh, sorry. This community, today's schedule. Here's today's timetable. We have a lineup of amazing speakers once again today. So we'll be hearing from five wonderful people, Anita, Aaron, Mandeep, Mohit, and Divisa. I'm sorry if I mispronunciation any names. Sorry. So let's give our speakers a big hand. So we were totally happy to have them here from different parts of the world to be part of this community. And let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate you. So this event will be about 2 hours long. So we hope you'll stay with us as long as your schedule today, schedule allows. Sorry. So then to all of our participants, just a quick reminder. Uh, this is an online event and you can join us through Zoom or YouTube. Uh, Feel free to drop your questions or comments in the chat anytime. And if you are comfortable, we'd love for you to turn on your mic and say a few words at the end. So once again, let's value these connections and keep growing this global community together. So let me briefly introduce this meetup group. This community was created with the goal of building a truly diverse and inclusive world through learning sessions. by connecting with people around the world through AWS and the technology. I hope that something shared here can be a small inspiration or hint for your journey. We especially welcome first-time speakers or those who haven't had many chances to share their stories. I'd be really happy if you could make use of this community and feel at home here. So, we haven't really made full use of this Discord yet, but we'd love to start using it more and make it space for everyone. Feel free to join us if you're interested. So, we hosted events every month. We'll keep doing our best to make this community even better. So I'd love for you to keep joining us. And we are always working to improve, and we are also looking for the future speakers. If you are interested, feel free to reach out to me. So right now, we are looking for speakers for August, September, and October. Next. Okay. So we love to hear your story. So I'm happy you join us as a speaker. And finally, and thank you once again. And we are looking forward to growing this community with you. Thank you. So, all right, let's get started with the main session. So, Anita, first speaker, Anita, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. So, yes, I can start. Just give me 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let me share my screen.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So little bit about me. As I said earlier, I'm Anita Senvilnathan. I'm from Dubai. I have I'm a cloud solution architect, having around 12 years of experience. It will be like from development to the architecture. I have extensive experience in that. I am a multi-cloud certified as well. So today I'm going to present about the migration, which is which really like I have worked on this, and I can share my strategies. I can share like how it worked for me because I worked in the Emirates and it's been a large scale migration. So this is pretty much about me. I'm so excited to welcome you in our session. Welcome you all in my session. Let's get started. Hope I'm audible, Hiram. Is that fine? I'm audible. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah. I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So Today, we are going to look about why this topic matters and the migrations of the mindset, then the migration framework, which is available in the AWS, migration strategies. Previously, it was 6 hours, but now it becomes 7 hours. Patterns for scaling, tools that enable scale, and finally, governance at scale. So let's dive in. In this, I really want to say, like, already 80% of the enterprises have a cloud first strategy. That means they want to migrate their application. It's because of any challenges which they are facing in the on-prem. For example, data center might have a contract that might be going to finish, or they want to, first of all, why they're coming for the cloud? It's for the security and for the cost optimization. And they also want to migrate uh, because they want something which want to do innovation or performance, how to improve the performance, and they can scale automatically with numerous automation which is available in the AWS native cloud native tools. So these are the things which has the business requirements for that they are planning to migrate. This is not a thing, but there are so many things like uh, legacy application or monolithic they want to migrate to microservices kind of. So I have some facts that 47 percentage people are migrating just because to save the infrastructure cost, and in the cloud, and it's happening like 47% they can save without going for on-prem. They can go for a cloud native applications, and 77 percentage in the reduction in the license requirements, because they have some tools like bring your own licenses or portable licenses. They have so many strategies. They're helping AWS is helping their own customers for the migration. And most important thing is migration, the migration should be a journey. It's not a project of 2 to 3 months, because after migrating also there are so many things which we need to focus on. For example, operational excellence and how to right sizing it, because in cloud, every other time there are new services they are introducing it. So when we are occupying that, because they're providing more, more offers when we are using the tools which they are providing. So we are moving to the next slide, which is AWS migration phases. It There are so many phases like this. In the normal, it should be like discovery and assessment, and then analysis, plan, design, migrate. But in the migration, they provided some specific planning like preparation and business planning, portfolio discover and planning. And then the third phase is application design. Fourth phase is migration and validation. Fifth phase is operate, optimize, secure. Excuse me. So in the preparation and business planning, it's basically on how the requirements, what the business are expecting, why they are planning to migrate, what might be the challenges they are facing in the on-prem environment, how that can be mitigated while promoting it to the cloud environment, migrating it to the cloud environment, and more specifically, they will ask for the security and the reliability, performance, and then how we can optimize the cost, because these are the main things the business people will think about when we are migrating, because outcomes are really important. What is the ROI and everything. So this is where in this phase we will decide like what are the critical applications which we are going to migrate. That would be the first phase, preparation and planning, business planning. There only we will do the pilot, POCs to show to show the workloads and how the cost would be, and just to give the detail to show the business like how the cost would be, how the performance would be when we migrate the workload to the cloud environment. Number two is a portfolio discover and planning. In discover and planning, there are so many AWS is providing tools to assess the to assess the applications. Like for example, when we are planning to migrate on simple service, we can use the agent-based tools or agentless-based tools to to analyze how analyze the capacity of the system which we have already in the on-prem environment. They can analyze the capacity, how much the storage tier, what storage tier we are going to optimize, whether it is hot, cold, or archive, and then okay. And they also here only the planning will happen, like what tools and technologies which we are going to use, and everything will happen in portfolio discover and planning based on the tools they are based on the tools which we already been assessed. And on also the customer has to provide the reports. It's not only with AWS native, they might also have their own tools which they can provide the reports, how the CPU utilization is, how the customers are providing, how many the users are there to access the application. So in the second phase, it will happen the discover and planning, and the third phase is the application design. Okay. Application design in the sense, for example, if we have a monolithic application, is this the planning phase? So it might be modernizing. Some application required a modernizing to scale in the migration process. So that's how the application design will work, and the migration and validation. So once the migration is done, okay. So once the migration once the migration is done, how to optimize it? That would be the fifth phase, like how to optimize, how to secure, how to maintain the centralized security measures. So these are the things which covered in the migration phases, and aligns with people, process, tools, and technologies, because these are the important things that need to be considered, because how the people will have people, like how their what is their skill set, because in AWS kind of company has the migration center, migration factory, or centralized like a center for excellence, migration center for excellence. These kind of teams will have in the AWS. But in other organization, the people who are already working in the on-prem environment, they are trying to migrate it. So this is how the people skill set, like how we can measure as being a solution architect. And then with process, tools, process, and methodologies. To find the right tool and the right technology, the migration process will become seamless and we can improve the success rate of the migration. Methodologies, as I said, like their business technical requirements such as their capacity, CPU, memory, uh, how the workloads will be, and the build, and then we have to build the use case that we have discussed earlier. And then processes is something like change management. During the change freeze, what we are going to implement, whether we have to implement, because the project we are going to migrate should be always aligned with the businesses and their change management. They are the one who are going to decide whether this critical application has to be migrated or it should be in the on-prem for a longer time, and then later we are going to migrate. Those decisions will come from the business. So this is pretty much about the AWS migration phases. Hope you all understand. Am I going fast? This is fine. Okay, I will move to next slide. As I discussed earlier,
No
AWS
problem.
is providing a suite of tools. Yeah, thank you so much, Hiromi, for that. AWS have a native tools to provide for us to move our application in seamless manner. But it won't happen in the seamless, but at least it will reduce the anxiety and the complexity. it should align with the business and the people mindset how we are when we are migrating to the cloud environment. So they are providing migration hub, a database migration service. It's typically a tools which we can utilize it to automate our migration, and then migration evaluator. And also there are so many third-party tools which I really want to show it up, uh, because why we are going to third-party tool, because sometimes our AWS tools which will not be supported like Unix or Linux, which is not to be compatible, then we can go for third-party tools like Device 42, RISC Network, Cloudscape, Cloud Amize, Science Logic. These are the tools, are top 5 tools which I really want to mention here, so that it can be utilized by the team like when we require it. Okay, these are the migration strategies. 7 R's. We host, which is something we have in our on-prem environment, which is running in the virtual machine. We are taking that as it is and migrating it to the for example, in AWS EC2 instances. This is called a rehost. And then relocate is much simpler. For example, it's like if we have already in the on-premise like hypervisor V and we are going to move it as it is to the cloud environment, which AWS services are providing. Re-platform, for example, you can consider like the system is running in VM, like a virtual machine, and we are planning that to migrate to the apps logic or Elastic Beanstalk, or in the in the containerized form. Taking the decision in the re-platform, it has some changes, like there's some code changes is required, because in re-platform there's always is like uh, lift, tinker, and then shift, because it does has some code changes underlying on it. Refactor, which is like a refactor is like something re-architecting. Some people used to say re-architecting. Uh, in re-architecting, it's basically like there is a legacy application which has in a monolithic format and it should be migrated as a microservices, because when we migrated, it's like it aligned to the cloud. It aligned to the cloud native. Like if we are moving that to microservices, it is basically we can scale independently, because in when we want to utilize the cloud native solutions, then refactor would be the best thing. However, it's really expensive when we go for a refactor. Repurchase is something like shop and drop. For example, if we want some third-party tools, like a third-party applications like workload, which we want to utilize in our environment, then we can go for repurchase. Retain is something which don't want to migrate for now. Maybe we already have the licenses, or we newly procure it, and we have almost 2 to 3 years of the contract, which don't want to cancel and going on to the migration. Actually, later, but there is a plan to migrate, but not now. It will take time. We can consider as a migrate based on the priority later. Retire is decommissioning the servers which we are not going to use anymore, so that those things will come under retire. So choosing the right path based on the goals plays an important role while doing the migration. Hope this is understandable. I'm moving on to the next slide. Okay. Patterns for scaling. This needs to be considered. Migration waves. The term migration wave is it will group the application based on the workload or the criticality, and we are going to migrate based on the dependency or the priority. Dependency in the sense for example, there is a roadmap to migrate this particular service. After that, because after that, it should be a service two, microservice two. Why? Because it has a dependent. This service has to go first in the cloud and then next. That's that's the main important thing is a migration wave stages. Like we are planning to migrate this first services and then to the next and then to the next. It's based on the criticality dependency, as I said, and then business priorities. Hub and spoke architecture. It's kind of a centralized manner. We want to manage the logging in a centralized way, and then security and compliances in the centralized way. That's called hub and spoke architecture. For example, if we want to managing the logging in a centralized manner, there is so many tools are available. Even AWS is providing CloudWatch, and there is a Splunk, which will basically in microservices we use this kind of tool to manage the centralized in the logging, so that everyone can it can be easily to find the issues or drill down the issues. Landing zone. So okay, okay, in Azure they're called a landing zone. In AWS it's a control tower. It's basically the setup which is already there and we are going to use it. For example, I can give you the analogy. For example, if we want to build a home in a city, there is already they provide the electricity and the water, and we just want to start building the house. That's how there is a landing zone or the control tower based on the compliances, security, and okay, uh, based on the security, networking. So these are the setups should be already been there. These are the setups should be already been there for the migration purpose. That's called landing zone and the control tower. Governance, security, and compliances. These are the most important and vital for for the migration purpose. Not only the migration in any other digital transformation. I in AWS there is management group organization and the business units, the resource groups. Okay, in Azure resource groups are mandatory, but in AWS resource group is not mandatory, and they have a resources. That's how the structure will come. And the governance IAM roles plays an important role by providing a granular or fine tuning the access uh, for the users, for the employees to access the application in the secured and the compliance secured manner. Mm, okay, we'll move on to the next slide. Cost optimization and common pitfalls. So once we do all the phases and started and then we did done the migration, this is not the end. After that, we have to continuously monitoring it for how to right sizing it, how to save the cost for the better ROI, and uh, regular patching and updating and for the assessment is really important after the migration as well. Okay, for the right sizing, there are so many tools. As I said, AWS is providing for the how to right size the environment. There is a tool which we have personally used, like Apito kind of tool. These tools help us uh, to show the exact data how we are using in the on-prem and the AWS environment as well as Azure environment. So it will show this, for example, there is one EC2 instance which we are using it, but we have a procure for 100 GB, but we use only for 1 GB or a memory. It's very less. And accordingly, we can decide it whether we really want to really want to continuously using this particular instances, or we can just decommission it and we can use it in another way around, like in a server which really has the compatible with the application which has already been running. And that's how the right sizing helps it really give the like 40 percentage of saving has been done when I did in my previous application, and the reserved instances. Reserved instances something like a saved plans, savings plan that using the trusted advisor by given by the AWS, that also needs to be considered. And there is always a tools that needs to be constantly constantly have to see and observe whether we can right size it, and how can we do more cost optimization. Those things will come under cost optimization and the common pitfalls. Okay, moving on to next slide. So here it comes. Is there any questions or uh, any clarity is required? Please let me know. So we come to the end of the slides. Any questions? Now I can open this chat. You can ask in the chat or hello.
Thank you.
Yes, Hiromi, I can see your screen.
Mhm. Okay, thank
I'll
you so
just stop sharing, and
mhm. Thank you so
I
much
will
for
open my
mhm.
yes.
Thank you so much for sharing from Dubai. That's really great story. Uh, I feel that when it comes to migration, many countries face similar challenges, right? So I totally appreciate what you shared with us today. I also agree that understanding why you are planning migration in such an important point most cost. And it's
Yeah.
encouraging to see how AWS supports that kind of strategic thinking. If anyone has questions, comments, or feedback for Anita, please,
Yes.
yes, feel free
Uh,
to drop them in the chat, or you are also welcome to speak up.
okay.
Nothing?
Yes.
No more question?
No
Yeah. Any
questions.
questions, please? And I'm available in the LinkedIn as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great
Okay.
session, Anita. Arun here. It was a great session actually. So even I came to know how the migration things are happening on the other side. I am I am from the data side generally, so I'm just coming to know how migration things will happen. That 7 hours and those things and all kind of new to me, but nevertheless, always learning helps. Thanks for sharing, Anita.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, 7 that we need to consider, because that's how we can decide whether we want to refactor it or we want to like rehost it. Those are the 7 hours which we can decide, like how we can take it further.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks again, Anita. So now let's move to our next speaker. So Arun,
Yeah, hi, me.
I
Hi.
ready. Nice to meet you. So would you like to share your screen?
Yes, absolutely. I'll share my screen. Yeah, just a minute. Maybe I'll
Mhm.
just pop and join again. This is the first time I'm using Zoom, so Mac is asking to quit and reopen. I'll join in
Okay.
another 20 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's wait a little bit. Oh,
I
hello
am.
again. Mhm.
Yeah. Hi, Romy. So let me share my screen.
Mhm.
Once my screen is visible.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
So all good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Based on things. So today, I'm going to talk about data quality as a code, integrating Glue data quality as CAC into CI/CD workflows. So yeah. So, yeah, this is the topic where this is purely going to be a data side topic, and we'll see how data quality is important. So, before diving into the topic, I'll just introduce myself. I'm an AWS community builder, and I work at Presidio as a lead engineer in the data practices. I have around over 8 years of experience, and I especially look on this data ops thing, not a complete DevOps thing. We kind of building a data related solution, also a templatized form. So even though if you're developing in Dev, the template can be deployed in prod. So they don't need to set up anything on the prod. That's the main agenda we are doing. And I'm a big data and a blockchain enthusiast. So this is a short intro about me. And in the next 20 minutes, what we are going to see is why a data quality is important. And we'll just get on to AWS Glue service in an AWS, and we'll see data quality over there and its key terminologies associated with it. And we'll see what are the features available in Glue data quality. And we'll see what data quality at rest and in transit. We can apply data quality when the data is at rest and during in transit. We can use AWS Glue data quality for that. And at last, we'll see how we can integrate with the CI/CD workflows. So this is the plan to cover in the next 20 minutes. And we'll start with a small example. So if you notice, Gartner estimates that in 2022, Unity Software reported a loss of 110 million in their revenue because of a poor quality. Yeah, that's fine. 110 million is a kind of a huge amount, but how this bad quality has impacted their business. And even this is a kind of a Gartner estimate, and we'll see some real examples where the biggest giants also had made a mistake. So let's move on over here. So hope everyone knows about the cricket rules. So this is one of the screenshot which taken from during India Australia match, test match cricket match, which was happened in 22 to 22nd November 2024. During last year, somewhere around some 6 months before. So India was batting. In the first innings, India was able to score 150 runs, and Australia were able to score only 104 runs. With the help of 46 runs lead, in the second innings we batted well, and we were able to score 487 runs. So, and we gave a target of 534 runs to Australia. And it's the fourth day, which is on November 25th. And Australia were in the score of 229 for 9. If you notice, Australia is on 229 for 9. And Australia need 305 runs to win and 1.5 days of plays remaining. So if you notice in this case, the live win probability for Australia is greater than India. It's clearly evident. Even if you ask a child of 5 years, let's say, they will be able to predict India is going to win this match. But unfortunately, what Google predicted was Australia's win percentage is 0.5, which is higher than India, and draw probability is 99.4 percentage. So this is not going to end in a draw, and also Australia is never going to win. But this clear shot evidence that India is going to win, but based on the data they prepared, it says India in a very least probability. So this poor data quality can lead to incorrect prediction. So for example, there could be some people who has very much limited knowledge in cricket, let's say. So if they see this current status, they will end up in two decisions. This match is going to get draw or Australia is going to win. This is a kind of incorrect prediction the user will get, and bias in decision making. So the user will take a wrong decision, and almost we have wasted the resources on training and the inference purposes. So this is what happens to the this is what happens when we go with a poor data quality. In a similar way, let's move on to the previous screenshot, the Gartner screenshot, where Unity software lost some millions over there. So even Google lost some amount over here. So this is what data quality is important. And moving on to the next slide, let's get on to AWS Glue data quality. Before getting on to data quality, I would just give a brief intro about AWS Glue. AWS Glue is a serverless ETL service within AWS. We can easily extract the data from the source and transform and load it to the destination. So when it comes to the data quality, AWS Glue data quality, this is a managed service and also a serverless for us. We don't need to provision the infrastructure whenever it is whenever we need. It just provisions whenever we run the job, and it gets deleted as soon as the job has been completed. It helps us to evaluate the quality of the data, and it's built on top of DQ framework. DQ, as a name suggests, DQ is a data quality. This DQ is a Sparks, Apache Sparks framework. So this since AWS Glue predominantly works on Spark, so this is built on top of DQ framework. So we can leverage the same Spark framework to bring this data quality. And this Glue data quality can work at two levels. We can apply this data quality at rest, and also we can apply this data quality in transit, that is in move. So this is about Glue data quality. And when we take any new technology, there are some key terminologies associated with it. Yeah, we are sure about what is data quality now, how we can write this data quality. We can go with the first terminology. We can write the rules in a data quality definition language. This is the language we are going to define our logics, let's say, maybe rules. So the rule is the next thing. This is going to say what are all the rules we are going to check on the data. This is the main thing which helps us in understanding how much data is quality. And coming to the rule set is nothing but if it is a single rule, it's a rule. If it is a multiple rules, then it is a rule set. And data quality. After applying rules and rule set, we will be computing a data quality on the data, and the data quality will result as the score. Even we can set a threshold. If the score is less than specific value, we can take corresponding actions to that. An analyzer is a kind of an anomaly detection thing. Let's say we will be getting data on a daily basis. Let's say at some point of time we are seeing a drift in our data, or seeing a new pattern in the data. Then this analyzer will help us to identify where the schema got drifted or where the data got changed. This will help us to understand. And observation is nothing but observation uses analyzer as an input, and helps us to observe what goes wrong. So these are all the key terminologies associated with it. If we take any AWS Glue data quality, this is the language we are going to speak over there. And let's move on to the next slide. And coming to the features, as we mentioned, this is a serverless thing and helps us to detect data quality issues, and we can improvise our rules when and where required. And this is a kind of a pay as you go. Since it is serverless, we can go with the pay as you go thing. And it's an ML based quality detection compared to other tools. This helps us to this integrates an ML to understand the quality detection as well. So these are some of the features of AWS Glue data quality. And let's move on to the first option, data quality at rest. So when it comes to data quality at rest, we don't need to write any code for this. AWS Glue as a crawler. So we just need to crawl our data from the source, and we can insert this. We can insert our rules over there. Even we don't need to set any rules. Let's say it will recommend the data rule set for us. I have a demo screenshots as well. We'll see the demo screenshots at the end. And this data quality address can be helps us to understand the data, and also helps us to understand the rules what we can apply on the data. And if we are using any Boto 3 package, let's say, we can use this API called Start Data Quality Rule Set Evaluation Run. This can be used to evaluate the data in a programmatic approach. And let's move on to in transit. This data quality in transit, as at rest, the rule set was recommended, right? Here, we can't recommend the rule set. We need to be very well aware about the data, what data comes in and what data goes out. We need to understand the data. So based on that, we may need to customly define the rules. And we can write to Amazon CloudWatch what are all the rules got failed, what are all the rules got succeeded, which data got passed, and which row got failed. We can write that to an S3 bucket, and we have an option to fail a job. There are multiple options available. Even if the data quality fails, we can load the data. If data quality fails, we can fail the data load as well, and we can load the data into S3 as well. So at last, our transformation output will be the original data and the results of the data quality. These will be the transformation output. So let's move on to the last thing, the data quality with CI/CD workflows. We have a code repository. So once we completed the development, we'll just need to push our codes to the code repository. So from their code pipeline will fetch the code, and it will provision the AWS Glue. Within a Glue, we will be defining a data quality rules. And if the data quality is passed, we are pushing to the RDS. And if data quality is failed, we are just sending it to an S3 to analyze it. It may require human intervention to understand the data, what goes wrong. So this is about the data quality with CI/CD workflows. And with time constraint in the mind, I just took the screenshots over here. So this is how what we can do is, assuming that our data source is available in S3, let's say. So we can crawl the data from the S3, and that will be registered as a table within AWS Glue. Once we get into the tables, we have an option called data quality new. We can just get into this data quality tab, and we can create our data quality rules here. We can just hit on create data quality rules, and yeah, once we run the data quality, it will recommend us the rules for us. So in my case, it has recommended 51 rules. So I can insert the rules as well to my rule set. So if you notice, these are all the rules it recommended to me, and I have inserted some of the rules from it, So I'm just saving the rule set, and once the rule set have been saved, I'm just hitting on run. As a result of it, I can see the 4 rules have been passed, and data quality score is 100%. 4 out of 4 rules passed, and this is a kind of data quality at rest. When we move on to data quality in transit, this is a kind of a code-based approach. We may need to write a rule set. I will be just defining my rules like this, and I will be applying this rule set on my dynamic frame or a data frame. So my data frame is available over here, and I have a rule set. I'm just applying this rule set on my data frame, and I'm just storing my results on this corresponding S3 prefix. And once this is done, I can see what all the rules got passed and what all the rules got failed. I am able to see this. So this data quality tab is available on the Glue job runs, and I can see what all the rules I applied and what are the statistics available and what are the anomalies detected. So this is available on a per run job basis. So we could able to see that. And also, if any tool comes, we have limitations associated with it. So one thing is it doesn't support nested struct or list type. If our data is coming in a JSON, let's say, the JSON may have a struct or a list type. So that is not supported. Either we need to flatten the data before and when we are using AWS Glue data quality. And also the rule set size shouldn't exceed 65 KB. In ideal case, we will not be writing that much rules in our rule set. It is recommended to break the rule set and we can apply on the data frame. And at last, uh, we will not be promoting a code release without unit test. Then why we need to promote a data without data test? So this is one thing I thought of bringing up this year. And the things what we have discussed over here, I have documented as a blog and sharing it as a reference over here. Even if you have a plan to use AWS Glue data quality in the future or near future, or if you're using it now, you can just refer to this blog here. I'll just pass it on the screen for a minute to take a capture of it. Moving on to the next line. And yeah, even if you have anything, if you stuck anywhere in AWS Glue or AWS Glue data quality, you can reach out to me in LinkedIn, and this is my LinkedIn handle. Yeah, thank you so much, Iromi, for the opportunity, and thank you so much all for listening me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ron. So I have to admit I don't know much about cricket. Sorry. So, but I really enjoyed you sharing. I love it. It was such a fun and unique angle. So, anyways, Guru and Guru data quality seem like a really powerful tools for operations, and the data quality is such an important issue, and I personally love the serverless aspect too. So thank you for sharing your insights in such a clear and engaging engaging way. So all right. If anyone has questions, comments, or feedback for Alon, please free to use the Zoom chat or speak up if you'd like.
Not now. YouTube comment and X comment. Not now.
I
No more
think
questions?
so. I think someone is talking, but I was not able to hear it.
No. No problem. Okay, so thank
Yeah,
you
thank
again.
you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
So
much. Yeah, have a great day, all.
continue. So now let's move on to next speaker, Mandeep. Mandeep, are you ready?
Hey, yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Am I visible? Yep.
Hi, would you like to share your screen?
Yeah, sure. Let me get started.
Okay, perfect.
Uh, cool.
Okay, really great.
Yep. Is my slides visible?
Yes,
Yes,
perfect.
Cool. So I will be talking about something different. It's my journey of writing a technical book. So like how it started, what was the idea behind the book, and it got recently published with O'Reilly around 2 3 months back. So just the journey around it. So I will talk about it, and in the end, if you guys have any questions, we will discuss that. But a quick introduction before we get started. So I am a software engineer by profession, and O'Reilly author, as like we are talking about that journey. So the book is called System Design on AWS. The cover you can see here. I am also part of AWS Community Builder program. So yeah, that's how I connected with Hiromi and this got to know about this community gathering. I also have a YouTube channel where I regularly publish system design videos. This is called MS Deep Singh. So you can subscribe it, and if you are interested in system design and cloud architectures, you will learn a lot of things. Okay, so let's get started with the presentation. Now, like, I mean, like, I see that most of the audience here is part of AWS Community Builder program. So you might be already contributing in as part of blogs or videos, or like any sort of mechanism or social media which you are using to share the knowledge about anything you learn about AWS. So a book is a step up or like a step forward to that. It's a long commitment. Now there are some motivations. So like what were the motivations for me? So I was already publishing the content on YouTube and on LinkedIn. So I thought like the opportunity came up, and I mean, as per discussions with my co-author and all those things, I thought it's a good idea to share knowledge with people with a trusted resource. And it's a good challenge for get started on the writing. So I mean, if you write blogs and all, and if you compare it with writing a book, it's a long commitment, as I said. So you get to learn a lot of things. How do you convey your thoughts? Let's say if you want to explain some concept, or like let's say if you want to explain anything related to system design or any technology or anything, how can you convey your thoughts to the audience properly in a limited set of words? Another thing like motivation was that I was already doing a lot of system design as part of my work, as outside of work as well. So this book made sense to share the knowledge both on system design as well as how you actually build the systems on AWS. So these were the like basic, I mean, short motivations for me. How it started. So that started with like a discussion with co-author. So me and Jayant, we were working in Amazon back then. We started around 2.5 years back on this book with a proposal and like early discussions around it. So like right now we both moved out of Jayant. Moved out of Amazon. So Jayant is these days he's CTO at Tall Street Group, and I am part of Kindle. Uh, so after the early discussions and all, we formulated a book proposal, and then we sent it out to O'Reilly team. In the proposal, basically what things you have to give, the what's the book is about. Okay, like as I said, the book title was System Design on AWS. Earlier, like when we started it out, it was Learning System Design on AWS. Later, it was pivoted to System Design on AWS. So you talk about what's the book about, what's the content is, what are the kind of chapters, what are basically you talk about what's the content in the book is. Another thing is who the book is for. So who is the audience for this book? Let's say the engineers specifically. If we talk about, let's say, is it specific for architects? Is it specific for, let's say, interview preparations, or is it specific for DevOps engineers? So you have to figure out like what audience you are targeting. Another point is, are there any similar books in the market? So are you competing in the market with any similar books? So it could be, let's say, on the O'Reilly platform, if there is any similar book already available on O'Reilly platform or in the market. What are the similar books which are already there? Okay. Then in the proposal, you also have to provide number of pages. Okay, because that in the later point of time decides the pricing and all those things. How we will go about it, the timeline of chapters and all, and any sample. So we wrote one chapter, chapter 14, which is right now in the book is designing URL shortener service. So these are the things you provide as part of a book proposal, and then you have your discussion. Like if the initial proposal goes through, then the acquisition editor, you have like discussions with them, brainstorming basically, if like what all changes. Like one thing which I remember in our book was that so the part two of the book focuses on AWS services. Okay, so the thing was that there is a lot of documentation already available on the internet about AWS. So the discussion point was, do we have to really put that out in the book? What is the extra value we are adding in the book if we are adding that those AWS services in the book? So that was one of the point. Later on, it's part of the book because it was definitely adding the value. Okay, so as I said, after the proposal is accepted, there are like official things which you do, which is like sign a contract about timelines and all those things. What are the things which you have to take care of? You have to finalize on the structure of book and the table of contents. Table of contents, when I talk about, like we already submit the table of contents as part of the early proposal, but you also specify like what all, like at a heading level, what all things you will have. Then what are the number of pages that will be for each chapters, how many like how many chapters first, and then what are the number of pages you are looking at for each chapter. A development editor is assigned to you, who will work with you and like give you early reviews as and when you are writing the chapters and putting it out. And or you will also decide the timelines for chapter delivery. So the way it works is that it's a continuous feedback loop. You write on the chapter, you submit the chapter, then you get the development review, you fix that, and then finally it moves to technical review, and then at later stages it is moved to production review. So it's a continuous feedback loop. You continue working on it to improve the content, and then it goes through that cycle. So once you, let's say you have written the chapter, okay, as I said, right, it's a continuous loop or continuous feedback cycle. So you share the chapter for development review. If there are any reviews, it could be around writing style, it could be something around how the content is structured, all those things, okay. So once that is done, after few chapters, the chapters are released. So this is specific, much specific to O'Reilly. I believe that the technical, all the publishers have the similar kind of mechanism. So after few chapters, the chapters are released in the raw form, early form, on the O'Reilly platform for early feedback. So at this point of time, there is no technical review which is done, but if we can gather some early feedback, so from the audience, then we can fix those. So if there are any erratas which are raised by the audience, or like any feedback which you get, you can address that, so that you again, as part of that continuous feedback loops cycle, you have to keep following the schedule. It's again, as I said in the beginning of the our discussion, that it's a long commitment which you take, because in our book it was 21 chapters, and we took a long time, and there are like personal things which come in between. So you have to manage that, and you have to go through that, I mean, what you say, the cycle of writing it out, fixing the feedback, and then continuously working on it. Finally, the technical reviews on the book. So there are technical reviews from the O'Reilly side. You can also suggest the technical reviews from your end, what like, which you know that yeah, they are really good, and if they review your book, it will be really helpful. So you can uh, eh, like provide those person names to O'Reilly team, and they will reach out to them. O'Reilly also has their technical reviewers which they reach out to. So it's a mix of feedback from like around less close to 9 to 10 people which review the book technically. So this is the second phase, right? After the development review, you get the technical reviews on your book. Once that is done, you are all set for production. So in the production, like all chapters are done. Production is divided into TC1 and TC2. So you again get the feedback, you work on it, and then you also like the images, whatever the images in the books were. Those images are redrawn as per O'Reilly style. You get a copy editor feedback, so you fix that. If you have any concerns, you can address that, and finally the book is set to print. Uh, Once it is sent to print, the book is available online within a week. Hard copies are available within 3 to 4 weeks. and you also get free copies as per contract. This is the copy which I have right now, system design on AWS, and also the image which you see on your screen. So you will receive few free copies as per the contract you signed. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, this is the final process. If I talk about some of the tips, which if you are trying to write a book, or maybe just videos or anything, if you are trying to publish any kind of content, these are some of the tips from me, which kind of makes sense to me. So you have to know your audience, like which audience you are targeting to, right? We talked about this when we are submitting that proposal as well, that who is the audience. You have to figure out who the audience is, who will buy the book, who will get most out of the book. You have to balance out the content. So you have to provide that this is the page numbers which are there, and depending on this, you have to figure out you like sometimes it happens that you have to add too much content, but you have to again think that, yeah, these are number of pages and this is the content which I can add. uh, Again, as I mentioned, that we have to schedule it well, so there are a lot of personal things will come in between, so you have to plan some buffer. Let's say you say that I will be able to write a book in 1 year. Like earlier we thought that we will write a book in 1 year, but we took it close to 2.5 years. So there are a lot of personal things which come in between, so you have to take that buffer. uh, the last point is that don't expect too much monetary benefits. Technical books have limited audience, so don't write it that you will earn too much from it. The main benefit which you receive is that you get to connect with a lot of folks. Due to the book, I was able to get to connect with a lot of folks in the industry and learn a lot of things from them, and I was able to share my learnings with them. So yeah, it helps with you connecting with the industry folks. I will quickly talk about the book. So I hope you understood what are the steps, or like what you can say, the journey of writing the book. I will quickly talk about the book and then we will end the presentation. This is my personal website, msdeepsingh.com. You can check out all the details there as well. It has like what all feedback we received, who are the authors, what are who wrote the foreword, all those things. You can check it out. Now, talking about the book, you will learn the basics and best practices of successful system design. So there are a lot of concepts, let's say about relational databases, non-relational databases, some trade-offs when you actually design the systems, then caching, load balancing, architectural patterns. Uh, okay, I will move to that after it. Wait a moment. Where did the slide go? Yeah. So yep. So once you have that basic learning, you get to understand key services and like what are different AWS services. So whatever you learned in the part one, you try to map those concepts to the AWS services. So let's say about compute. So in compute, you have a lot of services, EC2, Lambda, then containerization services such as ECS and EKS. In databases, you have a lot of services. So how can you figure out your use cases and how can you map those AWS services to those use cases? And it's sometimes it becomes really confusing that which AWS services make sense to me. So this is how this book will help you navigate that these are the AWS services. How can you identify your use case, personal use case, business use case, and then map your AWS services and which makes best sense for your use case. The part three of the book talks about the combination of part one and part two, like all the concepts which you have learned or all the AWS services which you have understood. How can you actually use them to build the system? So part three contains 8 chapters basically, which talks about the design paradigm. So let's take one example. One of the like the final chapter is stockbroker design. So how do you come up with those requirements? How do you build that system, and then how you actually deploy that system on AWS. Okay, and it talks about the journey from day zero to day n minimal. It's what we call is MVP to MVP, minimum viable product to most valuable product. So the product which looks on day zero is not same as what it looks like when it is serving millions of customers. So how do you navigate through that journey is talked about in part three of the book in all the use case chapters. who should read the book. So it's useful anyone who is in the software engineering domain. So software architects, developers, DevOps engineers, system architects who want to build and scale applications on AWS. So anyone who is developing building stuff, this book is useful for you. Professionals transitioning from on-premise to cloud infrastructure. So if some people are working on on-premise and they are moving to cloud infrastructure, so it helps you to understand those AWS services, and then how can you build the systems on AWS. It is also helpful for your system design interviews. So engineers who are aiming for senior or staff level interviews, this book will be helpful to you guys. It will also be helpful for people who are in leadership positions. It will help to make informed decisions for them, like what their team is working on and all those things. And finally, anyone who loves to build systems on any cloud platform. So this book is not just about AWS. It's about anyone who loves to build system, be it Google Cloud, be it Azure, be it any cloud. This book will be helpful to you because the concepts in part one and part three are pretty generic. Part two talks about AWS services, but yeah, part one and part three are pretty generic, and you learn the journey about building systems. So these are the few links where you can get the book. You can try it out via free trial. Definitely, O'Reilly has free trial. Dragonfly is sponsored 2 chapters. You can get 2 chapters from here. If you are in India and you are planning to go to this summit, Gartner Data and Analytics Summit in on June 2, I will be there distributing few of the signed free copies. So yeah, if you are around, you can definitely say hello to me, and then we will connect and discuss about anything. Yeah, I we are pretty much done with the presentation. If I can take any questions, and as I said, right, you can subscribe to the channel MS Deep Singh, and try to reach out to and any social media MS Deep Singh. MSDeep14 is the handle for any of the questions if you are not asking it right now. So, yep, I can take any questions now. I think there
Thank you.
is a question from Kiran in the chat, like how different it is from explaining concepts in video format as against in writing the books. Okay, so yeah, I mean, see it on the video. If you talk about O'Reilly, right? O'Reilly is a trusted resource, and then you go through those development review, technical reviews, and all those things, and you personally feel that you have to dive deep into this content so that readers get most out of it. If you are like as compared to if you are publishing a video on YouTube, let's say, you just read something and then you put it out. There is no technical review or like there is nothing like that. So I mean the sense of ownership or the sense of like details which you get out of the book is different. If about talk about the process, as I said, book writing a book is long commitment. Publishing a video is just if you like work on Monday and then you can just stop publishing the videos. So yeah.
Thank
Any
you.
more questions?
Clear? Thank you. Thank you, Mandeep. Publishing a book with already is such an achievement. Congratulations. Also, I personally feel that system design is very important in this age of AI. So I really appreciate your insights on the way you introduced the topic. So, by the way, in your country, do people prefer physical books or digital ones? Uh,
It's available in both, and it's available in multiple languages as well. So
mm,
apart from English, it's also available in other languages, and you can definitely read it on O'Reilly platform as well as Amazon Kindle, if not physical copies.
mhm. Okay. So, personally, I really like physical books, especially for our technical content. So, your talk remind me that whether it's through uh, through blogging, speaking, writing, or even social media posts, putting your thoughts out there really helps us learn and grow, right? So, by the way, I'd like to ask for your advice if I even try publishing a book overseas. So, uh, anyway, if anyone has questions, comments, or feedback for Madip, no more question,
Hiromi? Hiromi? One
right?
question and Zoom chat.
Zoom chat.
Zoom chat. Yeah.
Already live.
Yeah.
This
Uh,
question from Kiran, right?
already, yes. It was finished, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So, okay, thank you. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Yes, that's clear. Thank you so much. Now let's move on to our next speaker. Mohit. Are you ready, Mohit? Oh, hello, Mohit.
Not know.
Uh, are you there? I think there's no. Oh, thank you, Kiria. So, all right, and okay. So, finally, Jivisa, are you
Yeah,
ready?
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'll share my screen.
thank you,
Before
Hiromi,
that, hey all, this is Jivita.
thank you.
Yeah,
Would you
just
like
sharing.
to share your screen?
Hiromi,
Yep.
skip and last speaker.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Next, Jivita. So, Jivita, try.
Okay.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, great. So,
Uh,
I can see your blouse. You should change the speaker mode.
can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before I get into the presentation, I would love to do one simple game session that I created using Amazon Q.
Uh,
So,
stop.
well,
Uh, change the screen. Mhm.
oh, you couldn't see it?
Yep, I can.
Yeah,
I
just a
can see
second.
it. Mhm.
Can you see the VS Code?
Oh, I can see that. Oh.
Amazon
I-
Q Q.
Still not visible?
Yeah, previously it was visible for me, but now it completely gone out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
visible
okay.
for me actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you see the screen with recall it, the game interface?
Yes, I can see Visual Studio screen now.
Yes.
Oh,
Now share screen is VS Code.
Yes.
mm, okay. Hope the screen is visible now.
Now I can see time
Hmm. The game
time
interface.
memorize this image.
Exactly. So we have 15 images right over here. So you can memorize within 15 seconds. I'm sorry, the timer has gone. So we'll be doing the short session on this game, which I created using QCLI, and further we'll be moving into this session. So I guess you have seen the images and you can spell it out to me, the words, whatever you've seen and you remember. Anyone, any guesses?
Clock.
Clock. Thank you. Any other?
Lion was one, I think.
Banana.
Lion.
Dog.
Banana. Dog.
Traffic signal, I guess.
Traffic signal. Okay.
There
Apple.
was it was avocado. Like I didn't
Okay.
forgot.
Avocado.
Apple.
Apple. So we have 8 seconds. Yeah, so out of 15, we have given 9. So let's see how much is right and how much is wrong. Well, traffic signal was an incorrect item, and we haven't recalled a few missing items here, and currently recalled items was this. So yeah, so this game was basically created using Amazon Q CLI. Well, I'm sharing my presentation screen now. Hope that's visible. Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
okay.
So the topic that I've brought today was something related to Amazon Q, innovation with Amazon Q. Like, imagine having an AI assistant that not only understands something about your business needs, but it also interacts with your workflows and gives out an answer. How do you feel like? And that's how Amazon Q actually works out. It's a generative AI powered system developed by AWS. So the game which I showed you was created entirely by Amazon Q CLI. Not even one single line of code was designed by me. So about me, I am Jivita. I am AWS community builder in the AI engineering category from India. And I work as an AI engineer at Blackstone AI. I'm certified in AWS AI practitioner, and I'm an AWS Cloud Club certified instructor. Former AWS Cloud Captain of AWS Cloud Club St. Joseph's Group of Institution, where I assume to be the Cloud Captain for a huge club of 2,000 members. And I love to explore more about agentic AI, trending technology, and I love to learn more about AI trends. And currently, I am one of the core member at AWS UG Women in Tech India. So that's all about me, and you can connect with me via LinkedIn. And I'm a blogger. I post articles very frequently, so you can follow me in my Medium as well. So my presentation goes with a blend of both technical and non-technical view because Amazon Q is not only for developers, it's also for business people. So talking about Amazon Q for business, it generally empowers enterprises by connecting to over 40 data sources, including 365 and Salesforce. Basically, it provides contextual answers, automate tasks, and does all the works. So it is said that Amazon Q business reduces the search time by up to 75%. And I've just dived deep into the use cases and how companies are leveraging Amazon Q, which is found in the documentation of Amazon, found in the internet. And generally, it supports custom agent level of workflows, and it also automates natural language processing. So it also gives you permission for role-based access control and aware of permission settings as well. And we have another type for developers, that is Amazon Q for developers. Basically, the code which I showed you, the game which was run, basically like this, developers are using Q in their day-to-day life, and a statistic says that generally, like, it enables 27% of faster coding for developers, and also the code review from manual to Amazon Q has raised by 20%. It not only does all these work, I recently created another use case like conversion of legacy code like COBOL language to Python. So that was also done by Amazon Q. So leveraging Amazon Q in your entire SDLC lifecycle would benefit you to bring in a support to the entire application. So it generates the entire application infrastructure as a code, CI/CD pipelines by itself. Interesting, is it? So, um, yeah, I thought of showing a demo, but unfortunately, my screen is not visible to other screens every time I have to push it out. So let's talk about Amazon Q CLI. When it comes to CLI, can you see this? The CLI installation for Windows.
Yes.
Cool. So when it comes to installing CLI in Windows, it's pretty much into a WSL, Windows Subshell for Linux. And first, by installing WSL and further unzipping the native package manager of Ubuntu, you leverage the zip files into it. And finally, when you put Q login, the VS Code will push you to the wrapper interface of Q CLI in your VS Code, and you can leverage it by using prompts. So that's how QCLI works. In case of Windows, and Linux has some other different level of involving them in the VS Code. And when it comes to Mac OS, yes, it can also be leveraged in your Mac OS as well. So irrespective of what OS you are using, QCLI can be used. And with few prompts, you can leverage Q in your code bases. If my code base is visible, my VS Code.
No, not it.
Okay, just a second. Well, I hope that's visible now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically leveraging Amazon QCLI. Now I've told you that this entire game was developed by Q. Now the thing that is missing here is readme file. So I'll ask you to generate it for me. So well, yeah. So my thing is generate a readme file for this. Now, what QCLI does is it explores the directory and all the file structure to its maximum depth. And it also examines each and every file. Particularly, we have run main.py for the game. So first it goes by priority. Now it's creating the readme.md file for this project after looking into all the files and assets. Yes. Yes. So now we can see the readme.md file, which is given here in the code base, which wasn't initially, and it was generated by the queue right now. And it asks me if it requires any adjustment. No, I say no. And yeah, so this is how it goes. It has deep dive into the project structure. It has analyzed all the files and what to run, where to run, and everything. Basically, even the prerequisite are also brought in inside. So this is the power of QCLI, and I hope the screen is visible now as well. Now I've turned the screen to the game platform, to the
Oh,
community page.
no brace code.
Build games with QCLI. Could you see that?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, this is the game event that is happening now. So till June 20, it is open. So if you are interested in building a game with Amazon QCLI, you can leverage QCLI, like how we did for the use case. And you can generate a game and do a blog or a video and redeem a t-shirt. So this is currently going on till June 20th. So this is one such thing that I wanted to show you. And here we've come to the end of the presentation. Very short technical presentation that I've given because I thought it would be the last 10 minutes and I don't want to dive deep into any technical stuff. So yeah, is there anything that I have to tell you? Any questions? Am I audible? Is there any questions?
Hmm. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Hi,
Yes.
Nakagawa.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Let me know about the most convenient uh, use case of Amazon Q.
Mm-hmm. Basically, it goes with any use case that you want to work with into the SDLC lifecycle as well. And whether you're a developer, you wanted to debug or work in the AWS infra, or you're trying to use it for any internal info, so you can leverage AWS Q for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I see few questions in the chat as well. So it supports all programming languages, right? Yeah, it supports all programming languages. Basically, like I recently created one use case. I recently worked on one use case leveraging Amazon QCLI, where I brought in code like COBOL language, legacy modernization to Python like code. And yes, it was working for Python, Java, Scala, Julia like languages as well. Yes, I hope it answers your question, Kiran. And Chris, yes, I have used Amazon Q to write. Yeah, okay, it works. Yes. Any other questions? Well, then, thank you so much. Thank you, Hiromi, for the opportunity to talk. And thank you so much, others, for interacting as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vita. That's such a hot topics right now. I've been seeing a lot of talk about Amazon Q here in Japan too. Thank you
Mhm.
so much.
Thank you.
So, thank you. So, now let's try covering Mofit again. I feel nothing.
So I looking so nothing.
Ah, all right. Okay, in that case, let's move on the closing talk and wrap up today's session. Okay, all right?
All
Uh-huh.
right.
Okay. So, to our speakers, thank you so much for your amazing talks. I really really appreciate it. So you will share the helpful inspiration, ideas, each talk was different, but they all gave us something we can take with us. Thank you for spending this time with us. Before we finish, please share your social media in the chat so we can all stay connected. And also, if for you like, please tell your AWS friends and this community. We'd love to welcome even more people. So we don't know if this is the right way to build a community, but we want to keep going so more people can hear your voices. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks again, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Yomishi, next time it's
Next time, June,
June.
June,
Okay. Okay.
27. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So streaming stop.
Thank you.